Oh my goodness. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Oh, look at my beautiful Vic. Shout out to Vic. Thank you for coming in. Who else? Wim. Wim is testing. Shout out to my beautiful member Wim. SW. Tammy, how are you? Brit Focus, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Peekaboo Nonsense is in the house. Who else? Who else? Sweet Jules. Ooh, she says it's gonna be a good one. Well, it's definitely, you already know how I get down, all right? It's always a good one over here. Liz, who else? Who else? All right, everybody, come on in. Uh, shout out to everybody. Come on in, come on in. Oh man, are are we already spicy? Come on, Menace. Nate would have talked with you, I'm sure. Nate and Drag are friends, and Drag knows some of the story, but not as much as Nate, who was big. I haven't even started. Can I start with my intro? Can I tell y'all what which, by the way, shout out to you, Menace, okay? Um, it's called the YBI, not the UTI, my love. Stacy, get it together. Get it together. Get it together, all right? Let me tell you why I thought this was a very important yet informative live, okay? Uh, I met Dragnaught through Queen Bee's panel. He was there and he answered a couple of questions. I had heard about the YBI. The YBI stands for the YouTube Bureau of Investigations. All right. Now, it was very easy for me to sit there and, like, because I did criticize several people that, allegedly are part of the group. Okay. Uh, Unirock is one of them. I very much criticize you guys. You guys already know I criticized him last September. He didn't take the criticism very well. So, I had to, do my thing. And I said, I'm going to research about this YBI because Mr. Unirock had mentioned it. He tends to mention it a lot when there are fundraisers that he wants to bust. So respectfully, I have a guest. Shout out to Drag. He's in the back studio. I'm gonna bring him up. I have several questions, and I wanted this to be both educational and informative. One thing that in my conversation with Drag that I had was, um, he holds. It is what it is, and you know what? I can always appreciate somebody who comes with it, with the "it is what it is." How are you, Drag?
Hey, how you doing? I'd make sure the stream was muted. Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, you were muted?
Oh no, I had up the watch link and I didn't realize it while I was trying to get OBS working. I was like, oh, okay, I could. Why do I hear an echo? That's why. Okay, yeah,
Get it together. Get it
I,
together, Drag.
I should know after all this time. I should know better, but
I know,
yeah,
right? You should know. What are you doing? I mean, you guys have been here doing this longer. So,
too long.
listen, I already have um someone in the chat who said I should have spoke to Nate, the lawyer.
Yeah, and yeah, I saw that. That was Menace, and so and I agree with Menace. The issue is that Nate is incredibly busy and he's not going to come on. I can tell you right now, he's in the process of moving. A lot of people may not know that he and I will be 45-minute neighbors, I guess you could say. So,
Oh,
so yeah, he is incredibly busy with that. He's barely uploading stuff to his own channel, so he
I
doesn't really
noticed
have
that.
time for a whole bunch of nonsense like this. So, but I do. So there we go.
No, and I appreciate, and not only that, I didn't invite him. I invited you. So
Yeah.
respectfully, you're my guest, and it is what it is. And make sure we're gonna be respectful in my chat. You got some people. I mean, you did tell me you had some trolls.
Ah,
You
that's
know,
okay. There's still a lot of butthurt people out there, but it's fine.
I
Everybody, it's
I'm like, all
2023.
right.
Everybody's offended. That's okay. They can be fine.
Yes, mods, please time them out, remove them, do what you got to do. If you're not respectful in my house, you're not welcome. So it is what it is. And I have a feeling that some of these people are coming from various camps that I'm very familiar with. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
anyways, uh, Drag, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what got you in this whole internet game? Give me a
Oh
little.
wow.
I know
So
that's a loaded question, right?
wow. Back in I would say 2012, I was in the military. I needed an outlet. I love discussing theology, religion, if you will, science, philosophy, and so I entered different communities. First it was like Yahoo Answers, and then I made my way to, at the time it was Google Plus, and so there used to be a loose group of people that we referred to ourselves as the Great Debate Community, and so we would debate religion and science and that sort of thing for hours every day, and so that's where a lot of us encountered, you know. Nate the lawyer, came on, and a whole bunch of people, and so that fell apart around 2017, whatever. I then encountered Unirock because he was an attack dog of sorts from somebody from that same community. And so my first introduction to him was someone had sent me, a few people had sent me a message and said, hey, there's this Unirock guy and he's talking trash about you. And I said, the fuck is a Unirock? What is it? That sounds like a disease. What is going on here? And so they sent me a link, and I'm out
I
eating
can't.
dinner with my buddy Xavier, and I'm listening to this guy, and I learned all type of fun things about myself. I live in my mother's basement. I've never touched a woman in my life, and I'm just like, who is this erratic squirrel that evidently needs a more love from his parents or more therapy or something? And so, I popped up in the chat and I was like, hey, bro, what's going on? You really don't know me, do you? And so, by the way, I'm at the same time like completing different degrees and stuff like that, like outside of YouTube. And so I'm spending time talking to idiots and then working on what now I need to still finish my master's in molecular biotechnology. So,
Let me
you
stop you
know,
right there. You are a professional. When I heard that you had this, like, it's not like a little science degree. No, you are a smart, intelligent man. Because I'm like, he said biology, something that I failed like 15 times in school. But go ahead.
yeah. And so like during the daytime, essentially, I would be making fun of lolcows and people who are incredibly dysfunctional and sensitive on the internet. Well, actually more so in the evenings, and then throughout the day, I was a biochemistry teaching assistant. I was doing research with CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technology. So even though my degree was in like molecular biology and biotechnology, the research I was doing was biochemistry based. And so I know it's a weird juxtaposition of interest, but it was something to do at the time. But so while I was doing that, I encountered Unirock, and I learned that he was a fellow veteran, and so that was something that he and I kind of sort of discussed. But I noticed that there was a really weird way that he would go about sort of trying to make amends, because after he was done being this guy's attack dog, I don't know, I'm skipping around the place. He then became best friends with me, unbeknownst to me and Nate. There are screenshots still on Twitter of Unirock saying Nate's a criminal, he's a career criminal, and repeating all type of slanderous things that certain other people have said that's just absolutely not true. And so,
Nate, the lawyer who
yeah,
was a former cop, prosecutor,
yes,
attorney who's
yeah, a law
busy and
professor, yeah,
law professor. Shout out to I love Nate the lawyer. Number one, I watch his stuff. He's got a gazillion people in his chat. He's been. I mean, I love that he stops by and like recognizes us little people, because he'll stop by here. He stopped by before my chat. He seems like a very great guy. I don't know him personally, but that's
he's
what I
okay.
hear.
He puts ketchup on his steak. That's terrible. If y'all didn't know this,
Who
it's
puts
awful.
ketchup? Oh, that's it,
Nate,
Nate.
Nate, yeah. Oh no,
You
I
ain't
I, I
shit.
bust this shit all the time about that on Twitter. Yeah, that's
Who
disgusting. Yeah,
puts ketchup on their
he
steak?
does. I have a picture of it. I have to find it, but yeah,
Oh,
but yeah. So
yo, Drag, you have to tell me about that one. Well,
yeah,
anyways, I
well,
want to
so
go
yeah,
back a little bit to the YBI. Who
yeah.
created? First of all, what was the idea behind the YBI? Well, why was that even
So
created?
so I learned about the YBI through Nate. Like I'd been familiar with
Oh,
Unirock's little circle, and I was like, this. I said something's off, because I'm talking to Nate off air, and I'm like, there's no way this meth head with a mouth really like can do all this research. There's something going on, and he explained to me that there are very competent people, and they do great work. From what I've seen, from what I've experienced, and I interacted with a few of them. Menace was a part of that at one point. A lot of y'all know Navy Tech. They do very diligent work, and
yeah.
through their work, their combined efforts, right? And Nate the lawyer, uh, and like working in concert, they actually exposed probably 3 or 4 different fraud raisers, as they're now called, and Nate even got a confession out of
On
one of these things
YouTube.
on YouTube, and it was a recorded confession, and so it was crazy. It was absolutely um, crazy. But they are the brains behind that. Like, you hear that phrase a lot, but a lot of people don't know. They do, and they've created all these Excel sheets and these documents, and they got these links and stuff. And I've seen some of it, and it is thorough, very thorough,
Wow. Okay.
incredibly thorough. And so there's obviously a disconnect. So I'm like, they have these very competent people who are taking their time to volunteer. They're rallying behind, this meth head. And so I'm just saying that to be facetious. He doesn't actually do meth, but they're this really erratic guy who can't seem to stick to one point. And so what's happening? And so I spoke to Unirock because he knows I don't care for him. There's different stories and stuff from my actual real life interactions with other YouTubers that he's taken and just misrepresented. People have tried to correct him on and say, "Hey, bro, that's not what happened," and he doesn't care. All right, and so, oh well, my audience said they just know, they just frequently lie. So that I'm just listen to a 3-hour stream of his, and that's 90% of it. Okay, and so
I'm
I said,
sorry.
look,
I'm done.
and so he said, "Oh, well, Jack, why can't we be buddies? Oh, why can't we be buddies?" I said, "One
Oh
thing,
my
bitch,
God.
you were an attack dog for somebody making up stuff about me. I called you out and you blocked me. Rather than say, hey, yeah, you know what? People showed me some stuff. Yeah, old boy was lying. I want to kind of make amends. I mean, that's what most normal, logical, self-aware adults do. Not Unirock. He sends one of his fucking peons to me. Hey, Unirock wants to be your friend. Yeah, I was like, then tell that bitch to unblock me and don't send a fucking crony to tell me. And so eventually that message got to him, and my bad, I just kind of forgot. I don't know how to operate this thing. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, well, clearly. So from there, you would think that you would try to like contact the other creator and just talk to them, privately, have a call or just chat. Nothing. The only time that Unirock wants to communicate is when he's on stream and putting on a performance for his audience. Oh yeah, we're best friends, bitch. We don't talk outside of your streams. Why are we friends? I'm actual friends with Nate the lawyer. We hang out. He's met my family. We've sat down literally and broken bread together. I'm Nate's friend, but then I keep hearing people say that Unirock's saying that, oh yeah, me and Nate are best buddies. When's the last time Nate's even said this guy's name? When's the last time anybody's really said his name other than to call out the bullshit? And so, I got a message. I'm fast forwarding kind of to now. I got a message from someone in my Discord saying, hey, you hear what's going on with Unirock? I said, what now? He's still erratic? Well, yeah, outside of that, people are starting to call him out again. And so a few weeks prior, some people from like the uni camp has said, hey, Drag, where's that old video of you talking about Unirock? And that's the video that I sent you that was
Yes.
2 years ago. And so you saw a lot of the same criticisms that I had about him are still true now. He just
That
makes it
didn't
up.
age very well, and that was literally 2 years ago, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
my God."
that's at the center of why and he and I have spoken publicly and privately about why I don't like him is that he just makes shit up. And so there were people kind of in the dragnauct camp and in the Unirock camp, the cult. And so they were talking, say, hey, let's, why are, I like both creators. I want to choose. And I'm like, you don't have to. It's not fucking high school. You don't have to like everybody I like, but for some people, that's a lot. You can't tell them to be adults. And so what ended up happening was one of his cronies went over and told him, hey, yeah, Drag wants to chat. Because I said, look, I'm not going to go in his fucking weird cult Discord and try and talk to him. And no, if he wants to make amends, if he wants to resolve whatever issues that we have, then I need some absolute clarity on quite a few things. And so if he can man up and just come talk to me, then maybe we can get it resolved.
Well, let me stop you right here, okay? Because so then you have the YBI, right?
Yeah.
I- I- Intelligent people, professionals. Nate kind of runs this, right? And he gets everybody together. Who decided to say this Unirock over here is a great addition to, like, how did that even go down?
So they are just part of what they call the Uni fam. So Nate was always like a part of the great debate community, but our communities intersected because of a common person that you and I had talked about that Unirock was an attack dog for. That's how Nate got involved. But
Oh,
and so because Nate is a lawyer and he knows the law. And it just so happened a lot of the fraud rage stuff kind of intersected with some things that he had already been familiar with. There was a collaboration between Nate and the YBI. And so through their collaborations, the fraud raisers were brought to light. And it was a beautiful, beautiful collaboration, in fact. And it kind of shook the foundation of the flat earth community because a lot of these fraud raisers were hosted by major creators in the flat earth community. That's why a lot of them have parted ways because there was a lot of lying, obviously. That's something that I had sort of learned a bit later. But Nate was never, I guess, formally a part of it. He just collaborated with them, but they had always existed in some form to support Unirock and the streams that he does.
So there were some streams I know from those, what, 2, 3 years where he invites Nate or invites one of you guys or whatever to sit up
Yes.
and talk about it. And you guys, and they're very lengthy streams where I could hear Nate the lawyer, and shout out to him again, where he's kind of giving updates about what's going on, what's the scope and the deal with this situation. And so
Yeah.
then he's kind of, but did he provide any actual research outside of just calling something a fraud?
As far as Unirock providing anything, or
Yes.
Unirock doesn't do shit. If he provided anything, it's unbeknownst to me. I don't actually, and that's why I give a lot of credit to the YBI. I'm not familiar with anything that Unirock himself has gone on and looked up outside of what was already handed to him. I'm unfamiliar with any of it. It may just be I was not in the know or in the collective enough because, admittedly, while I was sort of hanging around them, I kept arm's length because they're just fucking weird ass people. And so, other than talking to specific members of the YBI, Menace, and a few others, I kept them at arm's length. But I am unfamiliar with anything that Unirock himself did at all. Because, and I'll tell you, I've seen the stuff that they provide. Like I've seen the receipts, and then I've watched the streams that he's done, and that's where the disconnect happened. At least for me, where I recognize it, where he's creating a Cliff Notes version. That's what I want to say. There's a Cliff Notes version that he just sort of, I guess, creates midstream, mid thought, and then runs with that. And that's one of the things that he and I spoke about. As like, why are you? And perfect example. There was a debate that he had with one of the flat earthers that were involved with the frauds. There were claims of racism. There was all types of different claims, and these guys they did their research. Say they were providing certain things. They say, hey, don't go here, go there, and he just ignored the fuck out of it, like it didn't matter. And he did terrible, obviously. And so, like after kind of like doing an after action review, you're asking, so why, like, why? Oh well, I didn't really care about those points anyway. Well, I just wanted to get to the main one. Okay,
I
all right,
can't with you, right?
all right.
I'm gonna need like, look. So okay, so Unirock himself, um, has he actually busted a fraud
But like by
himself,
himself,
like by himself, or any for that matter?
if he has, that's news to me. I I mean, possibly, but I'm unfamiliar with any.
So it sounds like he just kind of attached himself to various people.
Yeah, I mean,
Then
all creators sort of lean on people to give them
absolutely.
videos and stuff like that. But uh, I don't know if he would have a show or any type of any credibility if it wasn't for the YBI. I give them all the credit. That's why I struggle to really say anything or besmirch their name or anything like that because they do good work and
Yeah.
they genuinely are trying to help people, and a lot of them are they're folks of integrity from what I can tell.
Right.
I still feel some type of way that they're kind of complicit in Union's bullshit, but it happens. You become beholden to people when you have the best version of them, you have the best vision of them, and it happens. It happens to anybody who has had a loyal group of people behind them for any point in time. So
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you say that because like I don't want to disparage, say, Navy Tech or Menace, who might have put in some work to this because of my feelings towards how Unirock has maybe dealt with the situation or what he how he associates himself to that, right? So I appreciate you kind of giving me the breakdown of this. Not only that, but to correct any misconceptions that I might have or that the audience might have about how exactly this is run. I really wanted to get to the deets of this because it did bother me because I do
Mhm.
authentically like some of these people.
Yeah, some of them are good people.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I don't agree with their support of various people, clearly, but I don't have anything against them. So I was like, well, let me be a little bit vulnerable. Let me talk to drag. Let me pick, your molecular brain and get your let me get your stuff in, because I really just wanted to understand the basis and the goal of the YBI, right?
Yeah,
And if there's good things happening in various YouTube communities, such as people getting together and saying, I'm gonna call out that person for local, or whatever it may be, or at least to bring awareness, I'm down for it. But what I'm not down for is misinformation, and then somebody using a name drop or somebody's credibility to allow that to happen.
right, right. And
And
no, I
that's
definitely
what I
understand.
see that he's done.
Yeah, I mean that's Unirock. I mean he'll use my name. He'll use. I think at one point someone told me he was using. Several people told me he was using Burnt Toast name, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and Burnt Toast and I had a conversation about that, and I said, watch, and Burnt Toast could tell you. I said, watch what's going to happen. This, and this, and one thing, like the random name dropping, the claim that they're friends.
No, that's
The,
his
yeah,
sister.
yeah. Oh yeah. And like they've never. I don't. Not to find out. They never actually had like a conversation like you and I had the other day. That no, it's he just does that because he feels it gives him credibility. And if someone in her audience or your audience hears that, they go, "Oh, okay, cool." Then Burnt told their friends, "Okay, then I'll go subscribe to him and watch him," and they're none the wiser. But the thing is, Universe, like cult fan base, they're conditioned not to correct him. They're
Mhm.
conditioned not to say, wait, I don't know if they've actually spoken. Are they actually cool? They're conditioned not to ask those type of questions or even go there. And
Oh,
if no one believes me, just sit back and watch a stream. Just sit back. Don't say anything. Just sit back and watch, and you'll see it yourself.
do you so with the YBI, does the YBI go real life?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't like doxing people and stuff like that.
Yes.
No, I'm not. No, not if something like that has happened, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked.
If there is a scam that has been identified, right? I'm hearing, and just to correct this, my misconceptions, because there's people that have said, well, there was a confession that was obtained, right? That
Yeah,
so would that essentially been given to the authorities? Would you equate that to real life? I guess that's my question to that.
that's actually a good question. I'm trying to remember. I think because it was I forgot what level of misdemeanor felony. Because it was that type of actual crime that occurred. I think it
Hmm.
might have been reported to some degree. But to me, that's on the same level as if you see someone abusing their child,
Yeah,
right? Are you going to sit there? Well, you know what? I'm not going to go in real life. Obviously, you're going to say something, right? It's not like doxing
absolutely.
because you're trying to intimidate someone. There's a crime that's occurred. I'm gonna report it. So
Gotcha.
I draw a huge distinction there
I hear you. So it was like it's necessary because
because it was an actual crime.
it
Yeah,
was an actual crime.
yeah.
Okay. So, and I would assume that there would have been like information collect. I hate the word evidence because we misuse it here in this community a
Empirical
lot.
evidence was obtained
Thank you. I
way
like that
before.
better.
Yes, empirical evidence was obtained. Yes.
Can you explain what empirical evidence is to the audience, please?
So when people say evidence, it's somewhat kind of a nebulous term. There's anecdotal evidence where I tell you, hey, there's a dragon in my garage. Believe me, because I'm telling you, it's my personal experience. Now, if I bring you a scale from the dragon, here, go send it to a lab and check it out. That's empirical evidence. And so I like to give people those examples to help sort of, you know,
Thank
um,
you.
get to differentiate the two.
Was there any point, here you are kind of, because as I would assume that some of this information, some content is very delicate, right? Because you're
Yeah.
talking about exposing people or calling someone out. Was there ever a point where Unirock is reporting some of the YBI stuff and you felt like this guy's not trustworthy, or this guy is like totally going off of this in a different way, and you're having to correct some of that?
Oh, all the time. Anytime I listen to them. There's never been one time that I've actually listened to Unirock and felt that he accurately, at least to like within a margin of error, right? We all make mistakes, but there's never been a time where I went, you know what, he's on the money with that. Never, not one time. There's actually a fun game that we used to play. It's kind of a side topic. When Unirock would come on Nate's channel when we were discussing another legal case dealing with YouTube channels, we would play a bit of a game, and it was remember what Unirock said. And so Unirock doesn't have anything of substance to ever offer any conversation when he's talking to someone. And so no one can ever remember any points that he made. And so we'll all go around asking, do you remember a point that he made? Because it's nothing. It's a huge nothing burger. There's a whole lot of talking, right? There's a lot of speculation. And that's what he's best for, is just offering baseless speculation and trying to put it forth almost as if it was fact without any, not prefacing it, no caveats, nothing. And so if you're willing to be that loose with your rhetoric and that loose with the truth, then you can't really be trusted as a source of information.
So these spreadsheets, I believe Nonsense has shown, there's a couple of people have shown, Unirock actually recently showed a spreadsheet, right? Was that something that was, I'm assuming it was created by the YBI. Was there a group consensus to allow Unirock to use this, or did he just take the ish and then just say, I'm gonna make content off of this?
It was sort of agreed upon because the YBI really, they were at the helm of it. I mean, it's only appropriate that Unirock kind of exposed it. Like I did something on my channel for it as well, but I mean, it was sort of their baby since I think they did the bulk of the work. So give it to their patron deity Unirock.
While this content was going on, was anybody going? And please, that's fine if you don't name names, but were there people that? I'm assuming you guys are ready for any attack that you get while you're exposing stuff like this, right?
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah. Oh yeah. There was tons of folks, but it was kind of weird because there are certain people who feel comfortable jumping on sock accounts saying this, that, and the other, while other people will
we just had a couple right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, that's just the internet. But there are a few that were named in the actual document and had great concerns. And I had to explain to them that you need to calm down. I'm also named in that document. So, it really showed you who was paying attention and where the concern was, because if there was no malfeasance going on, then why do you have a concern, right? And so it's, hit dogs holler. It was kind of one of those policies. But, outside of that, you had certain people trying to obfuscate because they felt like if you scratched too close to the surface, then other things would unravel. And sure enough, there was more. And it seemed, from my recollection, to be only the people that knew that they were in the wrong that actually had a big issue with it.
I see. So let's say that, I don't know, I decided to contact someone from the YBI back then, because you guys aren't together anymore, right? Everybody's kind of their own separate ways.
Some of them are doing different things and different members, and I didn't keep a running tally or roster of who they were. So
why?
Better,
No, and I hear you, but about 8 months ago, I think, I have the clip. I have to upload it. Uni said that he contacted the YBI on the MGL situation. So I'm thinking, would that have been Nate the lawyer, or somebody else in that, in that he was guided through the process of what people needed to do, fill out police forms and, or document. They're going to document. There was a lot of documentation. When I sit back and I review some of that old content, it's always a lot of documentation that Uni is doing in addition to hosting the show. So I'm just kind of wondering, right? As like my auditor hat is on. And I'm just like, what the hell are you documenting, right? Like, what is there outside of just giving content and people independently filing police reports for whatever situation was going on? What other documentation would anybody have to do when the YBI is involved?
I don't know. That they do the bulk of the work. I'm not sure unless he's making his own cliff notes for a show. Like, I don't know what the fact that he's not explaining, like being or very, very, very explicit with what he is doing, right? That kind of tells me it's bullshit. Because you think about it, if I had a team of researchers and I say, hey, we're all going to research this microbe, and they're all categorizing morphology, someone's doing enzymatic activity, yada 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 yada. And I go, yeah, I'm going to document stuff. How does that help the overall effort if I'm not explicit with what I'm doing? So that for me in uni speak, it sounds like bullshit.
Mm. A Sorry, got distracted. Somebody said he's making a documentary. Okay. Um,
That has to be a joke,
I
right? That's somebody
just
joking.
no. He did say he was making a documentary. I am not
On what?
on his experience with this whole situation. Matter of fact, I have a clip here and I'm gonna play it for you, okay? And I want you to tell me what your thoughts are about this little situation right here. See if I can. Oh, it's muted.
For the best.
Kathy P says, and anything and everything. I'm sick of LB acting so innocent. She's just as bad. She's just as bad and was right there with them. So now things are being called out and she's distancing. Nope, too late. Oh, I know. And then LB is Leslie Bass is lying on me. She's being slanderous and defamatory towards me. Now, lucky for her, I don't play the threatening lawsuits and all that dumb shit game.
Which he is, by the way. Give me 1 second. This is the wrong clip.
And I've listened to him threaten lawsuits before.
All the time. I'm like, yo, you this didn't age very well. Hold up. I got another clip. Let me share it.
That's just a bald-faced lie, but okay.
I can't, yo. Let me see if I can find it.
Did anybody in his chat go, wait, Unirock, don't you remember about 2 years ago when you and another creator got into it, you were threatening to sue because they threatened your channel?
Oh my gosh. Right. Hold up. Is this it?
Yeah.
Hold up. 1 second. This didn't want to
looking
upload.
at menaces. So the YBI is kind of, they dissipated. Oh, wow.
What was that?
Evidently, they all broke up.
They did?
Yeah, according to Menace, they got to get the band back together. Unirock's not going to have a show anymore. That's not true. He'll just fraud.
I can't with you, yo. I'm about to kick you.
I mean, we got 2.5 more hours of that, man, and the show's over. No, we're going to go to another stream. We're going to go to Rockalot, guys. Come on, Rockalot 2. Come on, huh?
All right, I found the clip. You know, I'm supposed to get my Barbara Walters on, and you ain't doing shit for me right now, Drag. You need to stop. I need to get my Barbara Walters, my Erin Moriarty on, and you're just messing this up. Because you got me laughing. But thank you. Let me hit play on this. Oh, here we go.
So we realized that a group of scammers had been running a ring of fraudulent fundraisers, and that they had come and asked me to cover their community. What I didn't know when I went and covered their community was that they were doing all these fraud raisers. So we put together the YBI, which was a group of people that had been stolen from who wanted to help get justice and stop future fraud raisers. We've been doing.
Somebody asked him to cover a community.
Okay.
Did you hear that? So I was like, oh, okay, let me go back. Hold up.
We realized that a group of scammers had been running a ring of fraudulent fundraisers, and that they had come and asked me to cover their community.
Did you guys come to him and ask him to cover the community?
Yeah, okay. So I want to know what names of the people, right? Can we get some receipts on this? I don't think that's the case. I think that he had always been following, Burnt Toast and others, and then found another community and said, you know what, these folks would look pretty tasty in my cult. You know what, let me just sort of, start working that angle. So that's what I think happened.
Let me hit play on this, yo.
What I didn't know when I went and covered their community was that they were doing all these fraud raisers. So we put together the YBI, which was a group of people that had been stolen from who wanted to help get justice and stop future fraud raisers. We've been doing it for a couple years now. With Molly, what happened, I covered, as you know, most of you watched and saw that I've covered the story of Dre. And I found out that there was a fundraiser, and immediately people started to tell me a couple nights ago that they were asked for refunds and got threatened and doxxed and talked down to and attacked. And we've been looking at it ever since. And I went and got help from the YBI a couple days ago, and they've been doing what they do, which is one power that these scammers have is that they go and do this, and then they just go and run to their channel. And like Leslie did, runs to her channel, ignores all of you, lies about me, and then tries to just do her normal thing and act like nothing happened. So what we do, Molly, she goes live, insults you, doxes you, puts you down. Like I just played the audio of her doxing one of you just now. and then they go and Molly will delete the video or put it on private or put it on member only, like when she went live with D's Nuts was the name of the video, acting rude as hell and shit, and then just gets rid of the video later. What we do, well, I cover what's going on live as it happens. The YBI archives everything. They download the clips, they save everything. Then the YBI will go and find out where you have to report this stuff to so that they can get an investigation. Now, the last fundraiser.
So was the YBI aware? I mean, I don't like if Navy Tech is part of the YBI and he's like, he's maybe it's still going on and y'all don't even know.
Because according to Menace, the band's broken up. They're not doing a reunion tour. So maybe you know what it could be.
You're just not in it anymore.
There's just a new group of people who have just stepped into that role. And they're calling themselves that. That's always possible. Probably less competent people, but people who are willing to swallow the Kool-Aid and just go along with it. So
when did you leave the YBI? Like when did you say
me or Menace?
You.
I was never part of it.
You were never part of it.
My only association with it was through Nate. And
Gotcha.
So I had like some of those fraud raisers I had inadvertently participated and promoted before I knew that. And so it was me and a couple other people. One of the guys running the fraud, his girlfriend was a good friend of mine. And so we all sharing notes and stuff, give them over to YBI, let them collect it. And then we're providing context, timeline, dates, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm a tertiary member of the YBI, right? If that, I'm on the outskirts. Nate was actually working hand in hand and collaborating with them. And so that's how I sort of grew to know, Navy Tech, Menace, a whole bunch of other people who are actually doing diligent work. But this is interesting. I'm not really sure who he's referring to here.
Yeah, because and like I said, and to be fair, I've never heard Navy Techs or Menace, for that matter, even mention the YBI. I might have heard of them busting scammers before, but I've never really, like I said, I was completely new to that. Even being a term that was used.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't." Menace said, "Don't let drag fool you." He was undercover. He just didn't know it.
No, I was around for a lot of this stuff, but I kept Unirock at arm's length. I could only take so much of that. I like talking to Menace. I like talking to a few of the other guys, like independently. But talking to the patron deity himself, no, that was a struggle.
So it wasn't like the first shout out to Voices. First rule of YBI: you don't talk about the YBI. I mean, then if that's the case, he just effed up right now because he's over here, letting everybody know he consulted with the YBI. I'm like, the YBI? Who the hell?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good collective, right? I mean, it's just like I said, everybody has their collective, right?
Yes.
Different streamers, and so it just so happens Unirock lucked up and just had the right mixture of people that wanted to do something good and that supported, what did Agrippa call him? The meth squirrel? Something. I think that's what a good friend of ours, Agrippa. I think that's his nickname for him is meth squirrel. But but yeah, but like, I mean, there's no better description. So yeah, he just lucked up, and unfortunately, he just ran afoul of just, way too many of them, I guess. And what's he doing now as far as support and who the YBI is or who it's comprised of? Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh my gosh. So, oh Lord, let me get these questions going. So, there was one that I understand, right? Then they said they were able to get a confession about a fraud raising situation here on YouTube. And did that have any legal like ramifications to it? Was there any follow through with that?
I'm not too sure, honestly. There was talk about what could and could not possibly happen. I did not follow up on it, and next time I talk to Nate, I'll ask him. But it's been a few years, so I mean that person faded into obscurity. We haven't seen them since, so they may have another moniker. I'm not online alias or whatever that I'm not familiar with, but I hadn't seen them since, and for good reason, right? One of the other guys who was just using donations for DoorDash and stuff, I hear he's still kicking around somewhere. So, who knows?
Wow.
Oh yeah, no, that was definitely one of the, yeah. It ended up being DoorDash and different little things. So
It's interesting because I think one thing you pointed this out, and I will probably support your statement, is that puny Unirock lies a lot.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
So would it be hmm, would it be out of this world to assume that he would be willing to forge documentation, documents, or anything like that to suit a narrative?
It wouldn't be beyond his capability. I think that I haven't witnessed him do anything like that, but I think that he has such a big issue with addressing his inaccuracies and loose lips that he would probably put more effort into doing that rather than say, you know what, I was fucked up. I was wrong. So it wouldn't be outside of his character. But again, that's let me add a caveat. That's my speculation based on what little I know about the inner workings of the meth squirrel, also known as Unirock.
Yeah. Ooh.
I
Can't.
like after I was officially done with him after our one-on-one conversation. After
How do you mind sharing a little bit about that? I mean, anything that you
so there's some things about that conversation that he shared with me that I will not state. But one of the biggest things that I brought up, and I said, hey man, creator to creator, the love bombing thing. Like I'm great for romance. Sure, let's suck each other off. And so, but let's, if you're going to put that out there, at least try and build some rapport with me outside of your streams and outside of your audiences and stuff. If you're going to do that to Nate and to Agrippa and all these other guys, like, because they see through you, bro. It's cringy, but whatever. Nobody actually believes that we're friends. Oh, well, yeah, I'll drag. Yeah, they know. It's just for the show. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to tell them that I don't like you. So he kind of understood that because I'm like, I'm just going to keep telling people that you're a fucking idiot, because you say stupid and inaccurate things that are easily corrected. Oh well, it's just So I said actually on that topic, I said, look, there are quite a few things, especially from the experiences that I've had with other creators at a certain event that happened in real life, that you just 100% got wrong. And then when a few people came to you, especially one of them dealing with a pretty serious topic, right? Like abuse. And so like you're attributing different things that happen and saying this person did this and that, like, I get it. Me and you don't like this person. That person that we have identified is a liar. They are an abusive sack of shit. But just arbitrarily like creating things to like pin on them, that's just shitty. Well, he probably did it anyway. I was like, well, hey, I said, wait, no. Just let's stop there. Let's stop there. And I'm paraphrasing the conversation. I said, look, I think we have enough dirt on somebody rather than to just be really loose with what we try to use to incriminate them for whatever it is that you're going to make up. And I said, it doesn't make you look better by just running off at the mouth with baseless speculation because you don't like someone and because, in your words, your audience can read between the lines. And that's actually the excuse that he gave me as to why he is just so loosey-goosey with the truth, is because he has conditioned his audience to understand that he's not going to be accurate. He's conditioned them to accept the fact that he's just going to make shit up. He's conditioned them not to ask questions.
That's so dangerous, Drag, given
it
that you're
is.
calling people
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Oh
And I said, how does it make you any better than these people who are making stuff up? Well, because we're on the side of right. And, we know it's right. And I said, you can know it's right. But if you ain't doing it right, what makes you any different? So, but, oh, Drag, it's not that big of a deal. He completely blew it off. The idea that he himself represented the very thing that he wanted to call out, there's no self-awareness. Uniracists is going to say shit. His biggest, supporters aren't going to say shit. People, they're not going to tell him, like, look, bro, here's where I'm drawing the line. Right. And you don't have to, like everything every creator does. There's plenty of people who don't like the shit that I say and do, and that's fine. That's on them. But there is a certain point where, if you are being inaccurate, and consistently, and you don't care, right? That's the biggest thing. You can get stuff wrong all the time, but the fact that you don't care is what really stuck in my craw. And that's when I was officially done with Unirock. And ever since then, it's just been a long line of, just different people sort of finding out that at the end of the day, Unirock's no better than the people that he reviews. Probably worse in some cases.
And that comes like, it's interesting because people don't really realize, especially creators. Like, I get comments from his supporters all the time that will dance around the issues or try to excuse the behavior and don't really address or acknowledge the issue at hand. Did you confront that at all, or did you face that from when you said, I'm done with this?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like none of. So there was, I had faced that ever since I started interacting with Unirock, because I was pretty vocal about why I don't like him ever from the beginning. And since some of his, like, throughout the fraud raiser thing, our community, fan base, whatever, they started mixing and subscribing and all that kind of stuff. But they found out I'm not a part of the Kool-Aid drinkers. I'm not going to sit here and kiss his ass like y'all. And quite a few of them got mad. And I said that if that's what you thought this was, then you can go fuck off too. Like, I'm not here to pander to idiots and supplicants. And so that already was scorched earth between me and a whole lot of people. And from there, it only got worse. Yeah. And so when I would observe people, and occasionally I would pop up in his chat just to kind of see, it were different little games we would play. It was a tap out game. Who can listen to Unirock longest? Who can finish the Unirock stream? And so occasionally we would pop up. Oh, hey, Drag, my main man. We'll game one day. Yeah. And so, I got tired of that. So I stopped saying anything in the chat, and I would just kind of watch. And there was one case in particular where I forget this chick's name. She had been around for a little bit. I think actually she was a member. And Unirock had gotten something just completely ass backwards on some topic, somebody that we sort of knew. And what ended up happening is this chick had said, "Hey, yeah, Unirock, you got this wrong. You gotta." Oh, there's a troll there. They're bringing in the trolls. We got a code. Members only. And block the chick. And I'm just like, whoa. And then I even said so. I said, "Hey, bro, that was one of your channel members." It wasn't just like the loads. Like, she had been around for a minute, and it wasn't anything inflammatory. It wasn't anything. Hey, fuck you, Unicup. Yeah. It wasn't anything like that. It was very mundane. Hey, by the way, I don't think that's actually how that happened. And he flips the fuck out. So, that right there was really, 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 I would say a milestone with me as far as who he was as a person. And I try to give him a little bit of grace because I've been there as a creator. There's tons of idiots saying dumb shit, but he read the comment, and even people in the chat were like, "Hey, that wasn't a troll. That was a channel member." And he can't be corrected. Unirock is beyond reproach.
Yeah.
And the Kool-Aid drinkers know in his cult that he is beyond reproach, and they know not to cross that line.
There was people that said, because I had called out the fraud raiser last year, and I had people in my comments who said, "You don't know him. There's a reason why he does the things that he does."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Those are the excuses of cult members. Yeah. Because again, they're conditioned to do that. They're conditioned to feel sorry for him because, well, he's a meth squirrel. Well, that's just how Unirock is. Well, okay, cool. Well, I'm just me. Like, I'm an asshole, right? But I'm not beyond reproach, right?
Drag, do you think he's okay? I know, and all shit aside, all right, I know we're making fun of this and everything, but is he a drug user? Is that what you say?
No, there's a reason he's like that, and I the story that I was given, I believe, but I don't think he's a drug user. I think there's just not. He's a few fries short of a Happy Meal.
Okay.
If you catch my drift.
No, I caught it. Yeah, I just want to kind of be. If people are saying he was a user, what?
If he was, that probably did fry his brain. But I think I've been around some drug users, and especially long term, and that can definitely have an impact. But I think he's had some cage rattling too. That probably also contribute to it. Which, I mean, it happens. That's life.
Yeah.
But if you then can't be, if you're beyond reproach, right? It doesn't matter. Because it comes across as narcissism, as somebody said. It doesn't matter. Like, if you can't accept the fact that you are wrong about stuff and you don't care about the truth, then if he has enough mental acuity to make up stuff and to
Well, to call
continue just
people
talking
out,
and to call
right?
people out, yes, then I don't really care how much drug and how often he's been doing it. That's still not an excuse.
And this is our opinion. He's been saying he's going to sue everybody. They're going to sue you, sue us. Everybody's going to get. This is an opinion. You don't sue people for
Oh
their
boy.
opinion. But hey, it is what it is. We'll fundraise for an attorney. I guess that's what we're going to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I'll wait for my little suit next to all the other ones I've been accumulating over the years.
I mean, you're famous. So somebody, I don't know if I should read this super chat because I don't know if it's. I'm sorry, Wilson. Are you okay if I read this?
Oh yeah, no, that's. I'm sorry, I've known him for years. Yeah, no.
Okay, you said even Drag's chair has gotten fatter.
I love Wilson. He's good
I was
people.
like,
He's good people.
I was
He's good.
like, Wilson, you be nice to my guests, but I don't know what kind of relationship y'all have. That's
Wilson's cool
one big
people.
couch, I will say that, or chair.
I'm just it's actually not this big. I'm just blown up through
Oh,
OBS. It's actually not that big, but yeah. Yeah,
oh
some
my
people call my
gosh.
cat. Come here, baby. Come here. Let me kiss you.
Oh,
Let me kiss you.
that's so cute. So do you feel like you will ever put back together the YBI and get everybody going on this stuff?
You know what? If there is if the people from the old YBI were to contact me and to try and maybe do something good, I would work with them. Um, it would have to be like not for Unirock, right? That's my biggest issue because there would be no way that he would accurately depict anything that the hard work of those people, specifically the people that I'm referring to, Menace and um, Navy Tech and others. I don't feel confident and comfortable to support Unirock in any way, shape, or form. But if they were doing something, then yeah, I would lend some resources. Absolutely.
So, in your opinion, do you feel like Unirock is not the person to be calling out anybody?
Oh hell no, he's the last person. The last person to call out somebody. If you are beyond reproach, you can't call out anybody. Just can't.
Yeah. You kind of have to wonder though, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but then the people that are surrounding him, because like I said, I respect a lot of. There's some people in there that I like. I
Yeah.
like Navy, I like Menace, I like various creators that and some of his subs, they're really nice people. But you kind of have to wonder, like, have they also noticed this and kind of excused some of this stuff, or just felt like they couldn't call it out?
Yeah, I think that, and it's like we were talking about the other day. I think a part of it is that a lot of them are probably just really, really decent people, but they may not have a whole lot going on in real life, and so they've started to just really personally identify with Unirock and the Unirock fam, or Unifam, and all other kind of stuff. And so, because they've personally started identifying with that, it's when you have a slight against Unirock, it's a slight against them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's part of what it is. And so that I definitely understand because that's a little bit more complex because I know that a lot of them are going to take offense to a lot of stuff that's said. But if you're excusing the guy that's beyond reproach, then you're going to get some backlash. It's going to happen. And there have been several people in Unirock's on campus say, "Hey, you're just making shit up." So other people outside his camp that have identified the fact that he's making shit up. So like, what is then the excuse, right? Is that everyone just needs to drink the Kool-Aid, or I don't know what the solution should be, right,
Mm-hmm.
to satisfy everyone, other than everyone shut up and drink Kool-Aid.
That's it. That's it. I mean, that's how I picked it up. I noticed it last year and I was like, some may write it and this is going to get people in trouble, or just the way in which he was handling himself. And now I don't know how well aware you are about what's going on, but he has found himself in a situation or a lawsuit ship, I guess you would have to say, with a known litigious person. I guess you would say that, by the name of Jonathan Lee Ritchie's. There's this
Oh,
stuff.
JLR. Yes, I'm somewhat familiar with him.
He is, so this is the latest for those that are coming in, and I'd like to know your thoughts on this one too. But I guess he's also going to be adding the girlfriend, Puny Rach, into the lawsuit as well, and all these people. as she is somebody who is supporting him, which, I mean, there's a lot of people that feel some type of way about this, but what do you think about this situation?
I'm not sure. Like, I know Yudi Rach is out there, being the best promoter that she can for her man, and shout out to the chicks out there supporting their man thick and thin. But I'm not sure how she is, or why. I'm not sure why she's just being tied into this, other than being, his mate. I guess that's what I'm missing here. Unless she is out there on streams too, and she's out there saying, left, right, and center of all type of things about JLR, like herself. If she's not doing that, then she doesn't need to be included in there. But I've heard quite a bit about that gentleman, and so this doesn't surprise me. He just needs a target.
She is the producer. Says, here's the deal, yo. What the hell is a producer on YouTube?
So I'm doing my own Streamlabs OBS thing. There are some people who would rather, like, especially people that the advanced screens and they got the animations and stuff. You have a separate computer for that, and so you can just focus on the content. So yeah, that's what she does, and credit to her, because that actually, a good producer will make a show.
Gotcha.
But that's like, so you think about this, like Bernie Madoff, like the people who did the HR for Bernie Madoff, should they go to jail too? Right? They help support the enterprise, right? So I don't, I think it's just silly to try it, but I've seen people do stuff like that because, well, you know what, this person is attached to them in real life. So if I go after them, then that'll do something.
I think where it becomes tricky, and I think that this is maybe for those, because I remember when Unirock would say, if you want to contact me, right? Because it almost seems like such a hub, right? It's one thing to have, like you said, I don't know what a producer, I don't have a producer. I'm the producer, I'm the face, I'm the rabbit, right? I'm one and one in all. But where it becomes a little bit different, like Drag, if you're trying to contact me, or if a subby's trying to contact me, I'm not going to put another moderator. I guess it depends on the, how many emails I get to do the contacting, right? Or be the interface. It's almost like you're going to get that person in the mud, or that person could also somewhat get in trouble for the bullshit that he has pulled here.
So she's the point of contact for you right
I
now.
think she's one, as well as I think Navy was one at some point. I think both of them. I don't really know.
Yeah, that can get tricky then, because now she is sort of being inserted in there. Yeah, that I would have to think about that one. Yeah, because
right.
If it was just behind the scenes doing stuff, then whatever. But if she's willingly a point of contact for him, and helping to put out some of the stuff that's considered slanderous, then yeah, maybe she could definitely be held culpable for some of it.
And that's what I'm saying is, like, somehow if you're saying that so and so is a producer, or so and so is the point of contact for you, and here you have a litigious person that's coming after you, could they also add, say, someone like Navy Tech, or you know what I'm saying? That it's like we don't really think about the people that we put in there responsible for us, right?
Right.
Something
and I think
to kind of
that's
keep in
a
mind.
good point, because if these people are involved in, let's say, producing something that may be considered slanderous, then it's like, well, guess what? You could be found culpable. So that is something to think about. Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm not the superstar like Uni. I mean, I've never gone viral. I don't know anything about QAnon, Pizzagate. I guess he discovered those. Do you know anything about that?
You did. No, you did not.
He busted Pizzagate and
No, he did
QAnon.
not. That was Pizzagate.
That's what he said.
My God.
Stop it.
Did he also create the internet too? And so
I thought you guys
have
knew
to go, just stop, Unirock. Stop.
Wait. I've been defrauded now by this misinformation. You mean to tell me that he didn't bust QAnon?
No, he did not. No, the super sleuth that is Unirock did not do that.
Not Pizzagate?
No. There are plenty of people on Google Plus who also claim the very same thing. Very psychotic people. Oh my God. He'll say anything like this. I could see if it was a part of a shtick, right? That he just said, "Oh yeah, I did that. Of course, yeah. You know what?" And it was a comedy act. And so, like, I would get it, but it's not. Like, he's serious and until you really go in and then oh well, I was just joking. I just say things. So it's hard to tell.
Wait, he said, that there's articles about him busting QAnon. That's not true. I will say this, though. I did Google search QAnon and Unirock. What they reference is that he made a coverage about it, but it never said that he busted something. You know what? Why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and QAnon. And I won't keep you for too long here. I know you're a busy mad scientist over there. Drag. Hold on. QAnon, Unirock. I know that there's
I'm
been.
looking it up now too.
Yeah, look it up. Here it is. It was NBC News. Let me share with y'all, okay? Because I mean, if he has some like brownie points to this situation, he should. I just Google searched it, and here it is. Let's see. I think I saw his name in here. I might need to do like a Command F.
Yeah,
Unirock. Here it is. Unirock.
Yep, some YouTube channels, like one named Unirock, are mostly dedicated to poring over Patriot soapbox live streams and dissecting purported slip-ups.
That doesn't say that he discovered that he busted anything.
Yeah, no, that's it's literally one line. It just says he's dedicated live streams to going over the slip-ups about Rogers and whoever the hell Rogers is.
There's a difference between first place and a participation award, guys. This would be the equivalent of a participation award. You know, the ribbon that everybody gets?
Yeah, that's pretty much what that's. I mean, but if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, I guess.
Okay, you tell me, man.
You have to have some type of accomplishment in life.
Drag, I swear.
It's not like he's going to do anything of substance or really like contribute anything to society. So I mean, if that's what he has to offer, then kudos, great. I mean, I now evidently rescue cats, so so
with a big couch.
Yes, and I have a big old couch to fit my big fat ass. So you mean that
I can't with you. Drag, you are awesome. I appreciate you coming to my channel. I don't have any other questions for you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I will say that I have been talking to Bertos.
Oh, I love that girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, she's been good fried bread recipe. But no, we've been talking about maybe me doing true crime or something like that.
Ooh.
So,
we need more men doing true crime. I'm just gonna say we need more people with integrity, especially males. They're always a hot commodity. We just need it. We need it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, your little way though.
I do my research first. No, I can't be like Unirock and just go into stuff and go, oh yeah, Bertos is my sister. Oh my God, we would paint each other's nails and we would share notes and just I go do everything. Oh my God, no.
I can't, man. About we love Bertos. All right, guys, I have to let you go because my producer, the CEO, Baby Bunny over there, is bugging, so I got to go tend to her. But thank you so much, Drag, for coming, and I appreciate you guys. Drag's information is in the description box. Your channel, your Twitter, hit him up if you want to have, I guess, a good molecular laugh. I don't know, whatever. I can't even say molecular. See how bad I sound? I'm totally not a scientist, just so you know.
It's all right. It's all right. Neither am I.
Thank you so much, Jack, for stopping by. Have a good one.
Later.
All right, bye. Oh my God, you guys. I hope you guys totally enjoy. Shut your mouth, Menace. No, we don't. Menace. Hold on. Menace said, look, he said we have JLR for true crime and I do not. No, we don't. Thank you, SW, for sharing the link. All right, guys, before I head out, I have to tell you guys something. We have an exclusive tomorrow. It is a true crime exclusive, okay? I want you guys to make sure you put your notifications because it's early in the morning. It's a story that we had talked about yesterday. So we got an exclusive for tomorrow. I want you guys to join me and make sure you get the information straight from that situation. I can't say who it is yet because I don't want to, say too much. All right, guys, I had to head out. You guys have a great one. I'm out. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. And again, shout out to Drag. Thank you, guys.